rumble of the discourse. We've taken an abandoned concrete factory at the margins of the declining American empire and repurposed it into a battleground where 19 separate entities from across the political spectrum enter the discourse one by one and do battle to determine who controls the narrative force of the discourse. I hope you'll join me, your Southern Gothic futurist host, dirtgod Raven Mac, for each and every episode of Monday Night Rumble of the Discourse. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy dirtgod Raven Mac once again, back at you from the abandoned concrete factory at the edge of town, aka Catbird Arena. What's up, Catbird? We ain't got no sponsor this week, so we giving it to Catbird again, my man who gave us support in the winter 2023 series. Ain't before y'all watching this anyway, so y'all, if the four of y'all tell one other person to think about watching it, I might have a fifth watch it. Y'all know what this is, Monday Night Rumble of the Discourse, 7-week series. We got all these people from across the political spectrum coming out one by one. You get points for throwing people over the rope or pinning them or submitting them, and you get bonus points for them top four. In fact, let's run it back to next week. Let's see how last week ended. And as you can see here, we had Joe Biden, President Biden in the police state in the finale. Our referees were Kamala Harris, and Kamala giving a slow count here for Joe Biden. Lady Cop was the other referee. There was some differences in how to referee between the two of them. There were some words had backstage afterwards. You can see here the police state just tosses Biden right across that ladder, gets on him. Lady Cop comes over quick with the count, quick to count her boy into the win. Police state won last week, so that's what happened last week. You can see what the results were after last week. The police state leads the array. President Biden finished second. Twitter communists, Donald Trump, John Fetterman, and a whole bunch of other people. So let's get on up to the ring and see what we got going on. As you can see, our referees this week, they're going to be the police state and the National Guardsman. So the police state won last week, and he's going to be the referee this week. Conflict of interest. It's always a conflict of interest when the police is involved. Y'all ain't know? Coming out first, Kamala Harris, referee last week, wanted to get in the ring and mix it up this week is what she said. Vice President Kamala Harris. It took me a long time not to say Kamala like the old wrestler. You know I'm talking about, the Ugandan giant, but I finally got it to where I say Kamala and say it the right way. Trying to be respectful, trying not to screw things up, trying to take my job seriously. And the Lady Cop coming out second. So we got Kamala Harris and the Lady Cop, who had some philosophical differences as co-referees last week. And they gonna sort them out right here to start this one off this week. So we're gonna get it started. 27 competitors, these the first two. 25 whole other people gonna be coming out here. You can see we got a sparse crowd here in the abandoned concrete factory at the edge of town, which I guess isn't abandoned when we're in here, but for the most part it's abandoned. There goes the bell. Let's get it on, baby. Kamala Harris, Lady Cop got an armbar on Kamala Harris to start this bad boy off. You can see ladder in the ring, some outside the ring. We got 7 ladders representing the meritocracy myth. Climb the ladder, find success. It's all a lie, y'all. Kamala and the Lady Cop rolling back and forth. They in the corner. Nobody getting the upper hand, back and forth. Even battle to start the discourse off here in week 2 of our spring 2023 series, supported by my Southern Gothic futurist Patreon. And we're about to get a bell. Let's see who's coming out. Well, it's Dianne Feinstein. So Senator Feinstein from California been AWOL. They've been talking about how they can't appoint no judges because she's gone and ain't around to vote on nothing. Just straight up AWOL. So I guess she did something good back in the day when she first got elected to the Senate back in the 1930s. Kamala over the top rope, but she's not out. But now Dianne Feinstein is just like old and in the way. I mean, there's no other way to put it, and I don't mean that in an ageist way. If you old and can get things done, get them done by all means. But if you old and in the way, step aside. Let somebody do something, man. You holding things back now. Lady Cop with a kick to Kamala Harris. Dianne Feinstein caught a little boot herself. Holding up well for a 134-year-old woman. And now on the other side of the aisle, here comes another AWOL Senator, Mitch McConnell. think Marjorie Taylor Greene just called him out the other week, actually, because Mitch McConnell's been absentee. He had a little slip on the steps there a couple weeks back, and he's been AWOL. Nobody's seen him. But here he is tonight, him and Dianne Feinstein, dueling senators of absenteeism and age. Both of them been in the Senate since before Reagan was elected, to be honest. Back since Gerald Ford. Back since Henry Ford. Hey, we're going to get another buzzer. Let's see who comes out. Well, here we go. The opposite of the old and useless is the young and self-important. We got Senator Josh Hawley from Missouri, and he is coming out, and he is always meaning business. Guy kind of playing it low-key, being supportive of the MAGA Trump movement while also kind of keeping just a slight enough distance that he don't get caught in the crosshairs. Seems to be positioning himself to be the fascist in training after Trump. Perhaps. It's a bunch of grifters fighting for that slot. Dianne Feinstein tried to get Mitch McConnell up and couldn't do it with her frail ass. Mitch McConnell got his pant legs and his shirt sleeves rolled up and just caught a devastating spine breaker from the lady cop. And speak of the devil, here comes Marjorie Taylor Greene. Kamala Harris tossed over the top rope by Josh Hawley, and Mitch McConnell pinned in there, I think by the lady cop. So we had 2 eliminations real quick. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I saw something this weekend about how Marjorie Taylor Greene has that creepy little Milo, whatever the hell his name is, writing her a guide to Christian nationalism. Why not Christian nationalism? With an accompanying Bible. Now, this could have just been a tweet trick, but Holmes was up in her house, apparently, and did it to that little fascist Nick Fuentes. And I cannot imagine, I can't imagine them coming out with a Christian nationalist. Why not Christian nationalism? Well, here comes the wealthy leftist. I'll complain about him in a minute. Why not Christian nationalism? Like, they just being open about this shit now, y'all. They ain't even trying to hide it. And MTG definitely trying to be, I think, probably going to be Donald Trump's vice president pick, to be honest with you. Well, here comes a wealthy leftist, and he is fighting all the fascism going in place by having public events at the community space that he owned, that he inherited from his family. And there's a pin on the lady cop. Josh Hawley eliminated another one. So Josh Hawley is eliminating women left and right. Wealthy leftist trying to pin MTG, but nobody makes it count. We got a buzzer. Coming out as Clarence Thomas, made his discourse debut last week, did fairly well. I think he finished 5th, maybe. Clarence Thomas back out here. Dianne Feinstein got beat in there. I couldn't see who pinned her. We'll have to check the replay. But Clarence Thomas, all sorts of corruption with Clarence Thomas coming out. And it's funny because people getting all hyped up like it matters. Like the Supreme Court dude is just going to be like, yeah, you caught me. Like, these people are straight up crazy corrupt. Like, they don't care. Clarence Thomas ain't going nowhere. That dude is going nowhere. Trying to pin the wealthy leftists. Going at the wealthy leftists. So we got a ladder on top of a ladder in our glitchy world. It goes all the way up to the ceiling. And a buzzer, and here comes Elon Musk, the billionaire idiot himself, doing double duty tonight. I saw that he was going to be interviewed on Tucker Carlson. That's a pre-taped interview. This is live, man. Monday Night Rumble, the discourse is real, and it is live. Elon Musk, and I saw one of the little quotes. He was talking about how the government had access to DMs, and it's just incredulous to me that somebody would think that the government didn't have access to DMs, or that the police, local police, didn't have access to DMs. Like, how would you be so naive to not think that that's already the case? Like, how idiotic do you have to be? That's why people don't talk about that stuff. And there goes the wealthy leftist over the top rope. He's back in. I would have been so happy if the Twitter files had talked about all these tools, and here comes the Twitter communist, had talked about all these tools in the context of the Ferguson Uprising, Standing Rock, even the Arab Spring. Like, what did governments do then? Like, give me some Freedom of Information Act requests on that. But, like, instead, Elon Musk just seems to care that, like, the Dilbert dude is getting, like, hassled, you know? Like, who gives a fuck about the Dilbert dude? The guy that drew Dilbert. Like, this dude drew Dilbert. Like, come on, man. Anyways, Twitter Communist is up in there. That's my boy. What's up, Twitter Communist? we're like Twitter friends, but would never be real life friends. So it's always like an awkward conversation in the back when I have to see him, and awkward for him too, because he probably really don't like me. And here comes Texas Governor Greg Abbott. Made the discourse last week, back in it this week, because that dude who straight up said he wanted to kill black people, kill protesters, went to that protest and killed somebody. Greg Abbott's like, I gotta pardon him. Greg Abbott is anxious to pardon this racist piece of shit. Pedophile too, apparently. Not Greg Abbott, although he might be, but the guy he's pardoning. Clarence Thomas. No, that's Clarence Thomas eliminates the wealthy leftists. He made a point to take that man out, and there's another pin on Clarence Thomas, but he kicks out at 2. Elon couldn't get it done. So we get a buzzer. Coming out to join the melee is to do your own research. Man, we've seen this guy grow on the times of the discourse here. He started out as a Joe Rogan podcast fan, and now look at him. He's out here, do your own researcher, got his own podcast, got his own Twitter blue check now. Marjorie Taylor Greene knocked out by Clarence Thomas. So Clarence Thomas, no stranger to roughhousing women, he gets MTG out of there. Do your own researcher, got his own verified blue check now because he paid for it, trying to circulate that podcast to himself. And still don't nobody care. And again, don't nobody care about this, and I'm still doing this. I'm talking to myself right now. What's up, myself? You looking good today, self. Oh, I know. Twitter communist got pinned in there by somebody. I was too busy looking in the mirror at my reflection, thinking about how sexy my beard is. And here comes Donald Trump. He's up in the ring. So to reset the field, we got Senator Josh Hawley, Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, billionaire Idjit, Elon Musk, Texas Governor Greg Abbott, blue check podcaster, do your own researcher, and former President Donald Trump. Do your own researcher off the top rope, misses. Donald Trump wrapped in the American flag as usual. Greg Abbott with a neck breaker on Clarence Thomas. We got a buzzer. And here comes Tim Scott, senator from South Carolina, announced his candidacy for president, trying to feel it out, trying to be an alternative to Donald Trump. And like, you know how people say, like, when something happens and all you hear is crickets? Even the crickets was quiet when Tim Scott said he was running for president. The crickets even shut up and didn't say nothing. People piled all in the ladders. Tim Scott already thinking about pulling out. And that ladder pile gets Elon Musk eliminated, pinned by the do your own researcher. Elon going to withdraw that subscribe blue check, and do your own researcher quickly beaten by Tim Scott. So Tim Scott giving Elon Musk a little comeuppance there. Hopefully trying to trade that in for some algorithmic push. And here comes the head fascist. So Clarence Thomas got pinned in there by somebody. I think Greg Abbott did that. And then there's a pin on somebody. Greg Abbott's on somebody else there. Josh Hawley is out. Excuse me. Things are fast and furious here, y'all. Take a little sip of water and recollect myself. And there's another pin. Ron DeSantis, I didn't even get a chance to complain about what a crazy fascist piece of shit Ron DeSantis is. He's already pinned. And then Greg Abbott pinned by Donald Trump. Everybody's gone. Who we got left? Tim Scott and Donald Trump, that's it. They're the only two still in there. I mean, we still got a lot of people coming out, and there's a buzzer. And it's my man Bernie Sanders. Here he comes. Probably going to run for president again, the stale progressive voice of the septuagenarians or octogenarians. I don't even know how old Bernie is now. Why can't somebody else come do what Bernie does? Let that man go just sit in the yard somewhere and watch the squirrels. I love what Bernie did in 2016, but man, we way beyond that. Like, we should have, like, right now, thinking about electing Bernie Sanders in 2024 is pretty much similar to still saying $15 an hour should be minimum wage in 2024. We like double past that. Like, we left that behind a decade ago. And here we go. The head propagandist from Fox News, Tucker Carlson, of course, had that interview with Elon Musk. Tucker Carlson has created the secret trick to like spreading disinformation propaganda. All you have to do is look like a stoned frat boy in the drive-thru line at 2 in the morning at a fast food restaurant getting told they don't have any milkshakes. Because that's what Tucker Carlson does. He just does that completely perplexed, stoned frat boy in the fast food line hoping to get a vanilla milkshake. And Tim Scott pinned Bernie Sanders. Kind of a quick count by the National Guardsmen. Looked like Bernie might have kicked out, but they did not give him the benefit of the doubt. Bernie gets a shot on Tim Scott, though, and here comes the woke mobster. I gotta say, I'm pulling for them. Police, they just knocked Bernie off the top rope. Damn. The woke mobster's out. Hopefully it'll go right after Tucker Carlson, who's always complaining about the woke mob. Yep, there they go. Gotta remember, woke mobsters are they, them. Oh, a pile driver on the woke mobster by Tucker Carlson, but then Donald Trump slams him in the ladder. And Trump with the pin on Tucker Carlson. Carlson is gone. So we got Donald Trump, Tim Scott, and the woke mobster. That's quite a threesome. And not in that way, Bob Dobalina, my producer, my ear, being all creepy and perverted. Here comes the bootlicker. He is an outlaw, but he backs the blue. The bootlicker. Don't tread on him unless you have the proper authority to tread on him, I guess. He'll be joining the melee. I would expect him to go after the woke mobster. Donald Trump flash. Oh, Donald Trump hitting Tim Scott with that police stick. That's not a pleasant image. Scott kicks out, though. Bootlicker is going after woke mobster. Drops them on that ladder. And goes for a pin right away, but Donald Trump breaks it up. And bootlicker nailed Donald Trump with that briefcase. Because briefcases are all full of lobbyist money. And here comes New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Woke mobster got pinned by the bootlicker, so the woke mobster is gone. Eric Adams comes out. Of course, New York City Mayor, they just announced last week that they bought some really expensive robot dogs to do police work with that they bought with seized monies, assets that were forfeited. So, of course, Eric Adams came up through the police force, so even though he's a Democrat, he is definitely back the blue type who has given the police budget more money, given police raises while cutting funding to almost everything else. So you can't go to the library or community center on the weekend, but you are more likely to get arrested for not having anywhere to go. And here comes Debbie DSA, the roller derby queen. Jim Croce song comes to mind. She's out here and right on the bootlicker. So we got Donald Trump, Tim Scott, the bootlicker, Eric Adams, and Debbie DSA. I think we have about 5 or 6 more people still coming out here. Let me check my list. Yeah, 6 more folks coming out. So we're working our way through the discourse here tonight. Slowly but surely. Eric Adams drops Donald Trump on that ladder, and that might be it for Trump. Yeah, Eric Adams proves his point and takes out Donald Trump, does a little dance afterwards. Al Sharpton's got nothing to worry about, though. Hey, I recognize the music. Here he comes, the critical thinking punk. My old high school friend, Stoner, but kind of moved to the right, I think, but is a libertarian type, but also hates everybody, just sort of a kind of a nihilist, and just doesn't want to have to do anything. So whoever's telling him to do something the loudest, whether that's Republicans or Democrats, that's who he hates the most. We had some good times back in the day, though, so peace out to the critical thinking punk, although he's beating people with that hammer, hits Debbie DSA, and then Tim Scott and Eric Adams with an elbow drop, Macho Man Savage-esque onto Tim Scott. And we get a buzzer, and it's not an FBI agent. Got to be aware of this guy. He will show up to whatever group. If you're involved in organizing and activism, he will show up and will most definitely not be an FBI agent. Not an FBI agent, even if he's trying to talk you into escalating things in violent and illegal ways. He's not an FBI agent. You can trust him. And Debbie DSA pins the bootlicker. I think I love her even more now. Tim Scott, Eric Adams, Debbie DSA, the critical thinking punk, and not an FBI agent are left. Oh, not an FBI agent, just Bulldogs Debbie DSA. Buzzer. Debbie DSA throwing that ladder, and here comes the free thinker. We had a whole slew of these guys last season. This last week we only had one. Hopefully we only have one again. Really don't want 7 free thinkers, 8 free thinkers all at once. It's too much to handle. I can't handle it. I will quit. I will run away. I will go off into the woods and not do the discourse ever again. So the 2 of you who watch this will be very disappointed. Please, Bob Dabalina, don't send more free thinkers. Debbie DSA sets a ladder back up. We've got 6 various folks in there. Police state climbing the ladder for some reason. I hope he falls. He just jumped off. I wanted him for Tim Scott thrown out. Tim Scott eliminated by that critical thinking punk. And we get a buzzer. And it's the legacy blue check. The old school verified blue check who is a legacy blue check. So I got this checkmate plug-in on my phone so I can see if somebody has paid for Twitter or not, since they made it so you can't tell. And whoa, the verified blue check just nails not an FBI agent with that stick. Slow for the count though there, so he didn't get it. And now there's a pin on him by critical thinking punk. I went to see if he paid for it, and that legacy blue check has not paid for Twitter, so he is an old school blue check. I blocked him anyways. He ain't got nothing to say. His boring ass blue check ass. And we get a buzzer. Next to last person coming out is the library drag queen. So we did not see the library drag queen last week. We did last season. They're a major player. Of course, people complaining about grooming of children through drag queens. RuPaul's season just ended this past week. Congratulations to whoever it was. My girlfriend told me who won, but I already forgot. Library drag queen in there. One of my favorite competitors, and one of the nicest folks backstage too, to be honest. Library drag queen is a good-natured person in the back. Like, a lot of these people are very angry and mad, and there's a pin. The free thinker taken out. I did not see who that was. I think it might have been the legacy blue check that beat the free thinker. And there's another pin, and Debbie DSA I think pinned the critical thinking punk there. And our last entrance is the reply guy, and then Debbie DSA pinned by the library drag queen. So we're down to, we got 5 people left. The free thinker, Debbie DSA, and critical thinking punk all pinned. Reply guy, the last guy in here. I got a truck for sale, reply guy. Like, if you watch this later on replay, I'm gonna hit you up on Facebook. I got a truck just for you, man. $22.50. It's a beast, but only a man can handle it. So I know it's just for reply guy. Hit me up on Facebook, reply guy. So we got Eric Adams, not an FBI agent, the legacy blue check, the library drag queen, and the reply guy from the southern end of Facebookistan. And there's Eric Adams almost pinned the legacy blue check, library drag queen going for a pin on Eric Adams and a kick out. Free thinker goofing off in the corner there, kind of lost how he's to get out of the ring. He's just kind of going up and down the corner there. So, of course, 5 people left. Top 4 get bonus points, so we're getting close to bonus point time here. Whoever gets eliminated next will miss out. Legacy blue check and Eric Adams going at it in one corner, not an FBI. And Eric Adams eliminated by that legacy blue check. So we're down to our final 4. Not an FBI agent and library drag queen going to reply guy just nailed the legacy blue check on that ladder. That's probably going to be it for him. He's out. Yeah. So we're down to 3. Tonight's discourse is moving fast. Good. I might be able to go to bed early. Library drag queen holding that not an FBI agent up in the air. Reply guy waiting to get there. There's a slam on the library drag queen. National Guardsman taken out as well. Not an FBI agent stomping on reply guy. And there's a face buster into the mat on not an FBI agent. Reply guy just wiped him out too. So reply guy having himself a night, man. He must have just got his tax return or something, or maybe cutting back on the Bud Light after the conspiracy of that. He's pinning the library drag queen. So, man, look at this reply guy without Bud Light is a powerhouse. Take the Bud Light out of the reply guy, and he becomes a beast in the ring. Look at him, ran through the last 3 people of the discourse with prominent power. Let's look at this, man. We even get 2 pins because reply guy finishes up pinning woman that not an FBI agent, and then immediately takes a library drag queen down, slams him, and gets the pin. Reply Guy is our winner tonight. So let's check out the standings here, man. What was the results? Reply Guy got 13 points, so he eliminated the last 3-point people and got to 10 bonus points. Library drag queen with 8, not an FBI agent, and legacy blue check with 5. Josh Hawley with 4. He eliminated 4 people, Bob. Wow. And then a whole slew of people got 2 points there. So our standings after 2 events: Police State and Reply Guy at the top with 13. President Biden and the Library Drag Queen with 8. The Twitter Communists and the Legacy Blue Check, oh my God, please don't tag me in a thread with them, tied up with 7. Donald Trump with 6, not an FBI agent at 5. And then cluttered up with 4 points a little further back, John Fetterman, Josh Hawley, and Clarence Thomas. That's where we stand. So once again, folks, this is supported by my Southern Gothic Futurist Patreon. Patreon is where you pay a monthly fee any time of the month you want to support all the various arts and endeavors and multimedia crazy nonsense that I do. Your boy, dirtgod Raven Mac. Nobody is more deserving of, well, there's a whole lot of people more deserving of your money than me, but you know what? You give your money to a whole lot of people that are less deserving than me. So really, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, if giving your money is not a meritocracy, man. Y'all waste money on all types of dumb shit. So if you can waste money on dumb shit, waste $3 a month on me, man. Damn. My electric bill is high. I ain't even paid it. I ain't even paid for my heating oil for this winter yet. I'm still owing them, and they running finance charges up. And I'm just like, well, maybe I hit a lick before fall comes, or maybe I can sell that truck to the Reply Guy. Reply Guy, I know you just got the bonus for winning the thing. Check my posting in Facebook Marketplace. You want that truck, man. 1990 1500. It's a bad boy. You gotta get it. Anyways, until next week, this is your boy dirtgod Raven Mac. I will talk to you later. Salam.